What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, I've been taking a decent amount of time away from Battlefield 2042. I've been trying to cover it for a decent amount of time here, but once the developers came out and basically straight up told us that there's not going to be really any new content coming with any of these new seasons and to not expect much out of the game, there is going to be seasons coming. Obviously, there will be updates and stuff of that sort, but all the content is going to be one map every single season, very few weapons. And if we're lucky enough, maybe some additional content as well for Portal or something, but we shouldn't really be expecting much out of the game. Now, I respect the developers 110% for doing that. But, like I said, rightfully so, you can't really expect me to be too hype about any upcoming updates when you tell me that we're going to be getting bare minimum content every single time around. But, whatever. Push that aside. Season 3 dropped. I decided I'm still going to go ahead and come back. I still want to give it a try. I didn't really have any crazy expectations here. And obviously, those expectations were pretty much met because it was bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? As always, bare minimum. Yes, there are the minor tweaks and upgrades to the performance and overall things, but the game just feels so lackluster, lifeless, soulless, just no love put into the formula. Now, I can't blame them. Again, a lot of the people working at DICE right now are brand new into the scene, whether they're brand new with the engine, brand new with making a Battlefield game, or even brand new with just making an FPS game in general. So I try not to blame them as much as I do for previous titles like Battlefield 5, for example, where I went extremely hard because obviously there's tons of OGs that were working on that game and continuously worked on that game throughout the cycle. This game right here, yes, there were some OGs working on it, but you got to think they were planning to leave way before this game dropped or even right when this game dropped. You know what I'm saying? So just think of how you treat your job when you're about to leave as well. You're about to retire or you're about to leave your job and go to a completely different one that has nothing to do with where you're working at. The last month or two, you're probably not going to put as much effort as you usually do. When you wanted to impress the boss or if you wanted that job, you would be putting 110% effort. But when you're about to leave, you don't go as crazy. And that's what I feel right here with Battlefield 2042. I could tell the OGs were ready to leave. The newcomers were trying to learn, and it just turned to be an overall mess. Now, there is one thing that's positive about all of these updates. The minor improvements and the confirmation that the developers understand what we want out of the game. Every single new map they introduce into this game, every single map that they remake from the OGs, everything they put into the experience feels more and more what we want. The atmosphere we want, the style we want, and the map designs that we want. It seems like they are slowly understanding, and that makes me extremely happy because it confirms that more than likely the next Battlefield title, they will understand what we want. Now, obviously, I'm not going to completely cave in and believe that because, we saw that with Battlefield 5. They made major changes near the end of the game. We thought, it can't get any worse. They understand, and then Battlefield 2042 dropped. So I don't want to drop my guard too soon, but like I said, these are some really big improvements. From day one to current date, if you can get this game on a massive sale, shoot, anything 30, 40 bucks, I think it might be slightly worth it. It's not really a complete, outstanding game or anything of that sort. I kind of get bored of it still, and I much rather go play Modern Warfare 2. But, if you can get on sale, it's kind of there now. They have all the Portal maps in rotation with all that warfare. They added a few new maps into the mix. It's some weapons, new vehicles. It feels a tad bit more complete. Basically, this game is where it should have been day one. But like I said in the title of this video, this update is basically exactly what I expected. Every single time I look at Battlefield 2042, I look at it and I think that this is just a total game of catch-up. We're basically going on a year now in production of this game, right? And pretty much every single thing they're doing for it right now is trying to fix what they messed up in the beginning. And again, for people who enjoy the formula of Battlefield 2042, that's fantastic. But for anybody who's hoping for a little bit more, hoping for a game that could live up to the price tag, it's a major letdown. Because instead of getting new content, you're basically getting the game that you should have day one a year later. You were basically beta testing this whole time. Whether you think it or not, you were beta testing. You gave them feedback how to fix the maps. They fixed all the OG maps. You gave them feedback about how to fix the weapons and stuff of that sort. They slightly fixed the weapons. You gave them feedback about putting in Portal content. They put in the Portal content. You basically tested the game for a full year. Well, we all tested it. I tested it as well. And they fixed it up to be where it should have been at launch. And I guess that's a good thing, but for me personally, like I said, I just have a lack of passion now. You can't expect an individual to last a full year and have the same love and passion for a product anymore, or a project, or a hobby. It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever you love, you can't expect them to wait a full year while it goes through the absolute crapper. And you watch it go through the crapper. It's not like this is behind the scenes. No, this is right in front of my own eyes. I'm watching this game just get demolished, rearranged, scrapped, scavenging, trying to fix issues. And now we're at a better spot, but man, going through the trenches and watching what this game had to go through, and then seeing it current date still in a pretty messy form, still a pretty messy state. I mean, I think I played maybe a few matches with good ping, and I played about 4.5 hours. So about, I would say 2.5 to 3 of those hours, I was playing on 160 plus ping. It's the same problems. It's the same exact problems I had day one, and they're not resolved just yet. But the same glitches and bugs and all of that nonsense aside, just specifically talking about Season 3, yeah, it's pretty cool. Like I said, the map is really fun. They added some interesting weapons into the mix. Once again, they do the same thing a lot. They put in a gun that can be transformed into multiple different things, and then claim that's plenty of content, because the rest is a pistol and a little side shotgun. So the main gun in this update is the railgun. Now, they did add a portal gun into All Out Warfare, which is phenomenal and is really good. But again, talking about new, fresh weapons to fit Battlefield 2042 and the theme of the game, basically, in my opinion, there's one, and it's the railgun. You can turn it into an automatic weapon. You can turn it into, a sniper rifle. It's really fun. A burst weapon. It's actually extremely fun. I have some footage right here. I'll showcase it so you guys can see what it's all about. But like I said, it's not really enough to really showcase what Battlefield 2042 is all about. It's great to have portal weapons and all of that stuff, but I really wanted them to push with the original theme of this game. It can't just all be remasters. They could have made so many different things. The whole purpose of making a game near futuristic is to be able to expand past the boundaries of what, having to make a game current date or a previous war like World War II or World War One holds you behind. You can literally make whatever you want, and they didn't take advantage of it. The weapon selection, I think, it looks like it. It still looks smaller. If you take away all the portal weapons, I believe this weapon selection is still a trillion times smaller than what released at launch with Modern Warfare 2. I'm going to be real, that's unacceptable for a Battlefield game, because Battlefield is known for the variety. Since day one, it's been known for variety. Battlefield isn't a competitive game. It's not required to have, only 3 SMGs, so one of them is good, because everybody's going to be maining the same thing. Even though there will be a meta established at some point in time, like, always in Battlefield history, the best part about Battlefield is regardless, I could still use what I want, and I can still be successful in my own way. I can still find satisfaction. And they take that away. They strip that away. Now, again, they built it up. Current date, like I said, if you can find this game on sale, or even, if you want to cough up the full price, that's up to you. But, like I said, the content is there now, mixed in with portal weapons and Battlefield 2042 original weapons and, the maps and bringing in some portal maps into the rotation. It's fresh. It keeps it fresh. But it just simply doesn't feel like Battlefield to me. You know what Battlefield 2042 feels like to me? It feels like Apex Legends. It just seems like they took so much inspiration from Apex Legends and tried to cram Battlefield mechanics into it. And it just, it could work in some ways, but in my personal opinion, I feel like Apex is way different than Battlefield in every possible way. And it should stay far away. It's a great game, but I don't think it should be near how Battlefield plays. Call of Duty, sometimes COD elements can be introduced into Battlefield. That might work a little bit because, let's be real here. Back in the OG days, Battlefield was Battlefield versus COD, It was a whole meme. It was a whole thing. It was funny. It was enjoyable. Yeah, they can borrow and share certain mechanics between games as long as they stay their own form, as long as Call of Duty plays like Call of Duty and Battlefield plays like Battlefield. But taking something like Apex Legends, that's a whole different realm. I don't think that should even be, remotely close to a Battlefield project. That hits me so hard when I'm playing this game. And it feels airy. The weapons feel airy. The movement feels airy. Everything feels floaty. I don't know if it's because I was playing on bad connection all the time, but I don't know. I didn't really notice this at first, to be honest with you as well. When I used to play Battlefield 2042 pretty much every day to make content for this channel, I guess because I was so adjusted to it, I didn't notice, but after playing Modern Warfare 2 for a very long time, and I come back to this, it's like, wow, like I go to Modern Warfare 2, the guns are so punchy, every kill feels so meaningful. I can go neutral and I'll still get enjoyment just out of clapping a couple of people. It really feels good. And that's crucial for me in a shooter game. Now, it's not crucial for everybody. People have different opinions, but for me personally, when I play a game where 99% of the time I'm shooting a weapon, I want that to feel really solid. The better it feels, the longer I stay. And again, it's not the only variable to making a game fun, but like I said, the better it feels, trust me, the longer I'll stay. And it lacks a ton in Battlefield 2042. It feels like they're trying to give it a mix of classic Battlefield, where, it had bloom. It wasn't as much recoil, but the guns felt like they hit, and you knew you had to burst them, and you knew that they were strong, and the bloom was there. It just like everything synchronized back in the day. And they tried to mix it with current date, where they tried to, switch it up with Battlefield 5, where they actually added in legitimate recoil patterns. And, it's manageable recoil. And it feels like you can beam. It feels like they try to mix the two, and it's horrifying. It's absolutely horrifying. I think the main cause is the bloom feels so ridiculously inconsistent. Basically, sometimes at the same ranges, one occasion, I could fully auto my gun and every shot will connect, and then another occasion, I'll fully auto my gun and like 2 shots out of 30 will connect. So it makes you like second guess every gunfight. You are about to engage and you sit there and think, am I supposed to fully auto? Should I tap fire? What do I do? I don't know what my gun is going to do. That's what I'm dealing with in Battlefield. Every single time I play it, that's what I deal with. I have no clue how I should engage because every single time my gun wants to react differently. It's a nightmare. Once again, I feel like they should just take a path. Either go 110% with bloom, make it like Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, or just stick with, legitimate recoil patterns and keep it like Battlefield 5. Or just hit scan. I don't know. Just pick some. Don't do the weird in between. Please don't do the weird in between. It's horrifying in my personal opinion. Again, I'm not trying to be too negative here. And I guess I am getting a little off topic here because, I was talking about the punchiness of the guns. But let me get back here. The guns just don't have punch. Not only do they feel extremely inconsistent, they just don't have any punch behind them. Like this railgun, it does feel pretty good. I got to be honest, but I just think of the potential, how like hard hitting this could actually feel, how gruesome it could actually feel. But every single engagement just feels so lackluster. That's honestly how I feel about it. It really does just feel lackluster. It doesn't make me want to chase getting another kill. I don't get, that adrenaline rush, that hook to wanting to go more and more and more. But at the end of the day, that's not everything. This game is packed with some pretty good only in Battlefield moments. Even though the classic class system isn't there, the team play, it's not as good, but it's still there from time to time. You got your Battlefield elements. Like I said, if you want to get this game on sale, go ahead and scoop it up. But at the end of the day, I think realistically, I'm just waiting for the next Battlefield project. That's the point that I'm at right now. Battlefield 2042, they could do all the work in the world to it, but I'll come back and it's still just Battlefield 2042. I don't think I will ever be able to unstain the image that I have about it. I'm not trying to offend anybody out there because I know a lot of you guys do enjoy Battlefield 2042. That's great. Like I said, that's fantastic because the game has been improved to be much better current date. It plays better. It looks better. I still have some issues myself personally, but like I said, compared to day one, my God, it's a whole different experience. All the OG maps are pretty much getting reworked. They look phenomenal. Like, seriously, it's in a pretty good spot, but it will always be Battlefield 2042, I just can't help it. It's just how I feel. You guys know me. If you watch my channel, I can't lie about anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I feel a specific way about it, I just can't keep pushing. If I don't like it, if it's not addicting enough, if I can't get that rush out of this game, I'm just not going to get it. It's a snooze fest for me. It really is. I can hop on Battlefield 4 right now, which is an ancient game, but I could still put in, like, easily 6+ hours. Just absolutely mindless fun. With a bunch of friends or even alone, I could do it. It's such a good game in that way. And I still do it current date. And Battlefield 2042, it's hard for me to even push back like an hour and a half and 2 hours. It's really hard for me to push past that. I just don't get the rush that I get out of any other Battlefield game. It's lacking something, some core aspect that Battlefield always has. That element that just makes it feel like Battlefield. And without it, I just can't stick in the project. But that's all I'm going to say about Season 3, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to check it out, by all means, if you already have the game, download it, give it a go. Free content, the game plays better. It's a lot more in the rotation. It's worth giving a shot. But it's up to you guys. If you want to go out and purchase this game just because of this update, by all means, look into it. Do the research. If you want my personal opinion, it's not something that I frequently return to. I don't really hop back on this game. But the Battle Pass, it's very friendly. Challenges are always pointed towards completing it extremely fast. The XP tokens, unlike COD, they actually only work in-game, where COD works literally 24/7, so you're literally wasting XP tokens when you're in the main menu compared to Battlefield 2042, where you only waste tokens when you're actually in-game time. They have a lot of friendly systems in here, but the gameplay lacks, in my personal opinion. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. Bumps, I hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new and enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with us too. We do still have a Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also, want to catch me live streams of video games over on Twitch, linked in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.